We back up in this bitch.
You know, if they wanted to take it outside in the parking lot, the ex-wife and her homegirl would have been well within her right to put a little beat down on the mistress.
Oh my
Hey.
God, I just want to get on this mic and talk to my girls.
And we still got some fucking ninjas out here that don't know no
Mm-hmm.
better.
How dare you? You think that it's appropriate to take a woman, a young woman who is still a minor, and put her in front of the congregation to apologize?
Him, he just a ninja. I mean, he was cheating from the door. She said it. He didn't give a shit about nobody but himself.
We might find out some shit tomorrow that we had no idea. So I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Listen, something don't smell right to me, but I'm going to mind my business. But I'm not, because I want to know what y'all think.
So stop acting like, oh, we're not taking handouts. Bitch, you are a handout. You taking our money.
Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to Three Aunties and a Mic, the podcast about grown folks ish. I am your girl V with the T. I have with me weekday with the everyday drama and Miss Bookworm with the read. What's up, ladies?
What's up? What's up?
Hey,
Yes.
how are
All right, let's
you?
get into it. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, because we got some stuff to talk about. But before we get into it, how was y'all's week? How y'all doing? What's going on?
Life is life.
Who-
Life
Well,
is
life
life.
was good over here.
Yeah, I heard you had a big birthday bash. So I'm
A
sure life was good.
surprise. Yes,
Yeah, that's nice.
yes. I had and you know what? I'm still reeling from it. Really.
Oh, great.
I've never had a huge surprise like that where I was expecting, when you're pregnant, you're kind of expecting a shower.
Shower.
So that's not really a far fetched. And I had another surprise. And those were both at work. I had a surprise baby shower at work and a surprise bridal shower, but I've never had a surprise birthday party. And that's much different because it's an odd year, but I wasn't expecting anything. I was pissed off at my family. I was being very difficult and nasty because they wouldn't spend no time with me for my birthday. Oh, it was a mess. So to walk in and see everyone there that I love and that I just that are a part of my life, my everyday life. From and V was there 796 miles. She did one way and then turned around within a 24-hour gap and was right back home again. So big ups to you, V, for just that was like a red eye. That's some red eye shit and a double back. So I
hmm
For real, it
appreciate you
was.
for that. It really was.
I'm,
I'm still
I'm sure you
tired.
felt it. I'm sure you felt that on Monday. You
I
Yep,
was
that
got
one
just
skipped
flight,
like,
Sunday.
woo.
the flight there left at like 7:30. The flight home left
Yep.
at 5:30.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
and then
AM.
everybody was just there. It was just perfect. It was perfect. So, shout out to my bestie since sixth grade, Jess, and my oldest son, Marcus. They did the damn thing. It was beyond
That's
my
good.
wildest dreams. I could not have done it better if I planned it myself. They just
Oh,
went
that's
all
good.
out and it was great and I love them for it and I'm very grateful for all who came out. But the crazy thing was I'm a very, very vain person, believe it or not.
So listen,
And
bookworm though. Right before you came in, so your youngest son looked out the window and was like, she mad.
I had been mad. Yup, I was.
Yep,
But go ahead.
he was like, she's mad, right? So as soon as he said that, I looked at Amber and I was like, did you make sure that did y'all make sure that your mother like knew something to make her come back home kind of dressed up? Because y'all know how she is. And she
Yes,
was like,
they
no.
know how I
And
am.
I looked at my bestie and was like, yeah, she about to be real mad.
The
And the
thing
first thing she
is,
did when she walked in
what did
that
I say?
door,
Go ahead. Yup.
she looked at her daughter and said, the least you could have did was have my lipstick.
And it was right in the bathroom. I keep a tube of lipstick in the downstairs
Oh, that's
bathroom
nice.
right by the front door because you never know when LL might just be ringing my doorbell and I
She
could
said,
just be like,
"LL."
hey, after all these years.
I've
But
been waiting for you to come through.
I know, right?
That is
No, but
hilarious.
the thing was, I had a jean jacket on, and I am very free spirited. And my family knows this. That's why it was very odd that they didn't at least give me the heads up because I just had on an Aretha Franklin t-shirt with no bra on, just tits going any which a kind of way. And that's how I walked in. So thank God I had a jean jacket on because it was kind of chilly. And I just grabbed the jean and I kept going like this because I'm looking. If it was just all women,
Females, yeah.
it would have been okay. But I'm looking around and I see men and I'm like, oh my God. I had to go hug everybody, but they did give me a chance to go change. And 10
That's
minutes
good.
later, I did the damn thing.
Came
So,
back refreshed and ready to go.
yes, yes, yes. Had to find
That's
some,
good.
I had to find something long because my legs weren't shaved. I mean, I was on spring break. What the hell? So, and I am that vain, but I was able to have it all together. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I'm still riding high off of it. And it is at this current taping, it is still April. So all my shit is still up and around. My pictures are on the island, everything. Yup, yup, yup. They will come down. They'll come down in May, or they may come down when Taurus season is over. I'll think about it.
Okay.
But
Good
they
to
are
know.
sick of me in this house.
I'm sure they are.
Hilarious. What's going on with you, weekday? Happy birthday again, Miss Bookworm.
Yeah, happy
Thank you,
birthday.
thank you.
You know, life be life, and I have to tell you, I like to know who in the hell gives out my phone number. It's funny. I the other day, I pick up the phone. I'm thinking it's the people that call me by exterminating. I'm like, I had them here just in the beginning of the month. What the hell they calling for? So here comes this guy. Hi, I'm in your neighborhood, and there's a couple people down the street. I know the street name. I'm not going to mention it. Nobody needs to know
Mhm.
where I live. And he said, and we're doing some roofs, and right now we're doing a free roof inspection. It's free. We'll come and check your roof. So I said, wait a minute, who are you again? So he
Oh
goes in this
boy.
spell. I said, don't you? I said, how the hell you get my phone number? He didn't say anything. I said, don't you call my goddamn house again? Don't you ever call my house again? People, stop giving my damn phone number out. Listen, that is not cool. I didn't like that shit. I was like, what the hell? Who are you? And
I
listen, and
think
the
when
people
we
that
sign up for things and you put your number in, I think that
I stopped
these
doing that.
places sell our numbers. I think they're
Yeah.
selling our phone
I,
numbers.
I stopped doing that because of the fact that that's what happens. Like, when they do,
Yeah.
let me tell you, my mom told me years ago, don't sign up trying to get a free car because you ain't never going to get no damn free car. What it is they're collecting emails and phone numbers. Just to
Yep.
worry you the hell. So I don't sign up for none of those contests. You know how people like, and those vendor relations, they say, oh, just sign up. We got a door prize. No, you keep your damn door
Yeah.
prize because I don't want you don't need to be building a contact list with my information. I just don't want to be
Right.
bothered. But I just always wonder. I'm like, okay, and the street I live on. That was the thing that was the kick ass, right? Not only because
Mm.
my phone number is a cell phone, so it's not related to a house per se. It's not a phone in house. So you got my cell phone number, which I will say it starts with area code that's in New Jersey and it's not a
Mhm.
Delaware area code. I live in Delaware. And now you say, "Oh, I'm on your street." Wait a minute, motherfucker. Are
A
you
stalker.
stalking me? What the hell
Mhm.
is going on? I told him, "Don't you ever pick up that phone and call my number ever again." So that's the kind of shit that's just like, that gets on your nerves. Right now I'm trying to be in my moment. I got laid off last Monday, but really in actuality, I don't start I still am considered an employee until Monday. So I've been taking these days like it's vacation and just enjoying
See,
myself. Yeah. So I'm like,
yes.
listen, I don't need this nonsense. You calling me, and guess what? I ain't got no money. I ain't got it. Stop begging for it. Stop asking. I ain't got it. I gotta survive for my damn self. If y'all want to know the truth, but it just was funny. I just was like, these people are just really out of control. And then they call you and say, "Hey," like they know me. Listen, don't call me by my first damn name.
Do people still go door to door and
Yeah, yeah,
solicit those
they
things?
solicit
Well,
too. Yeah,
you see what I have on my door. They better not ring my doorbell. So I don't know if they still do go
they do.
around, but I have a big old
They do.
sign up there. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah. Nobody.
pain. Like, they stay away. Go,
But in this
go
day and
home,
age, it's
Roger.
too dangerous. It's too dangerous. Like who wants to answer the door when they're not expecting anyone?
Girl,
And who
yeah, I
wants to
usually have a butcher knife in my
be,
hand.
yeah, or who wants to be
I don't
held
answer the
up like
door.
you're working. The
Mm,
majority of
mm.
people are still working from home, and then your door is ringing. Somebody's trying to solicit. Listen, if you don't have food like popcorn, the Boy Scouts, and the Girl Scout cookies, I suggest you just keep right on going to next door.
Yeah, stop being rude.
I don't even want that. It's expensive.
Mm-mm, I don't either.
Y'all keep your Girl Scout
Yeah,
cookies, your popcorn, all of
popcorn.
that.
Shove it
Mm-mm.
somewhere.
Yeah, the
Mm-mm,
popcorn
I
is
ain't got it.
expensive.
I ain't got it. I keep telling y'all, I ain't got it. I ain't got it for that, as I
I
tell
always
people all the
wondered
time.
if they still go door to door trying to get people
Oh, child, they
to.
be there, and it be like two or three people. Are you serious? You got two or three people
Oh,
watching?
now
Yeah,
they.
yeah. So that's why you gotta be real cautious. Like they got bat. Listen, you can keep that badge. Usually, I check on my monitor, and I said,
Yeah.
"Who the hell is this, and what the hell they want?" And I may answer it through my monitor on my phone just to say, "Okay, who are you? What do you want?"
Yeah. All
So
right,
that's
ladies. So
about it.
let's get into the show for I think this is our last show we're gonna be doing in the month of April.
Yes.
We are full swing into the Taurus season. I'm,
Mhm.
stuck between these two Tauruses like a
That's
peanut
right.
butter and jelly sandwich.
Woo!
Listen, sweet and sour.
Oh, yes, sweet and sour.
Yup. Yes.
Sweet and sour.
Oh gosh. All right, so let's get into it. It's been so first of all, I want to give a shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles players that chose to stand on
Sit this one out. Mhm.
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
own beliefs, and not follow the trend. And just because my team is going, if I don't believe in the person sitting in that office, I'm a sit this one out. So, hats off to them because that takes a strong person to do to go against your team and do something based on your beliefs and what you stand for. So shout out to them for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was
definitely,
27 of them.
yep.
Was it 27 of them that
It
stayed
was quite a,
behind?
and it's funny because they were all part of the major players that helped with the Super Bowl win. I mean, throughout the season. So we're talking about starters. Mostly we're all starters. And I have to say hats off to Jalen because I think right before this whole Super Bowl invitation to go to the White House on Monday, Time, I think it was Time magazine or
It
someone, an
was.
interviewer, a reporter asked him,
Yeah.
"Are you going?" And he just looked away. He never answered her. He never gave commentary, but you could tell, not answering was the answer to your question. And my point in saying this is that I think that people, Saquon, we don't have, I'll say this, you're a phenomenal player. There's no
Hmm.
question, but we have bigger fish to fry, and I think that you're missing the point. Yes, everybody's like how honorable, and he put his comments down. I don't want to get political, but this is beyond political. If
Oh
people are not
yeah.
aware that at the African American Museum, they're taking artifacts away. The one in DC, that's right. They're taking artifacts away. April, I forget her last name. She wrote a whole
Ryan.
art. April Ryan, thank you. Wrote
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
whole article around this and how they're taking away. They're trying to get rid of these artifacts. They actually, thank God, are giving them back to the original owners, most of
Hmm.
them,
Yeah.
so they can preserve them themselves. But and now JD Vance is on the board. what the point? What's the point in this? But my point in saying this is that this is bigger than politics. This comes down to our race, about who we are as people. I know that I know all skin, skin folk is not kin folk, and
Right,
that's
right,
fine.
right.
And I think that when you start saying to yourself, because you're being accepted by others, that you're fully accepted, be very careful, young man. Be very careful, because you see that now. But um what was it, the Virginia case where, was it Love versus Lover? What was the case? You guys probably remember when they couldn't marry. It was the white
Yeah,
husband and the
it
black.
was the and the black. Yes, love. It
Yeah,
was that was
it's
their
Love.
love. Their
Yeah,
last name was Love.
it's Love.
Yes.
Um, and we are starting to see times where it looks like we're reverting back to some old ways of thinking. And I just want to just put you and make you aware of that, that doesn't sit well. A lot of the fans did not like that you did that, Saquon, because you're thinking it's politics, and we're thinking about our families, our children, our autistic children, our family that can't eat every day. So, but I know that you're at a bigger stake, and you can sit down with that man and maybe talk about. I don't think you should talk about business, because I want to remind people, and they need to stop forgetting, this man has had 6 bankruptcies, and who the
Mm.
hell bankrupts a casino? I mean, it says it all to me, but maybe he's telling you about those tax breaks that he's going to give to the 1%. So I don't know, but thank you, Jalen. Thank you, AJ Brown. Thank you, Devontae Smith. Thank you, Brandon Graham, CJ Gardner. There's a list of them that's out
Yes.
there. We just want to thank you for respecting that. Even though you guys are making the millions and whatever, that y'all really don't forget your roots, and don't forget that other people are suffering from the things that are being done. So, and y'all know I'm an Eagles
Absolutely.
fan.
Yes.
Woo woo.
So I'm just gonna say this. Um, I haven't really been into the NFL in a very long time. I still watch it. I'm not one of those people that have completely banned it.
Mhm.
But after Kaepernick and the way he was treated,
Hmm.
um, it just left a sour taste in my mouth. So I
Mhm.
don't give the NFL as much attention as I used to. I'm a 49ers fan, was a diehard 49ers fan, didn't miss a single game, was in here hooping and hollering louder than the men. I was that
Mm.
girl, right? But something about how they treated Kaepernick, it just made me think about the NFL and the owners and the game itself differently. Um, and I was reminded of that during this latest draft. And the way
Yes.
yeah. Um, so Shedeur, I never can say his name right.
Shador. Mhm.
Shedeur, I
Shedeur
think.
Sanders. Um, my thing is this. I've had some debates with some folks. At the end of the day, I feel like these numbers don't lie. Some people feel like he should have been more humble, and I'm like, humble for what? He's a superstar. Like, his numbers don't lie. What is there to be humble for? What is he doing that or his dad, in my opinion, that requires them to be humbled because they're black men, because they're black excellence, because they're black joy. Like, I I had a real issue with that, and this was coming from a black man.
Mm.
And I had a little bit of an issue with that. Um and it reminded me, and I like, yeah, you're saying that he needs to be humbled, and this NFL is treating this like it's a cattle call, like this is slavery, and like he's up for auction. And in those auction things, you would see somebody well mannered. That'd be one of the things that they would say, well mannered, gets along, doesn't doesn't argue. So are
Mhm.
you? Yeah. So I just want to know what y'all thoughts are about that. Do you think that he did need to be humble? Do you think he is a little arrogant? You know, um, what are your thoughts on him not getting drafted quicker than what he got? Being picked, in the draft quicker than what he was. I mean, I think he was what, fifth round.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
144th pick.
The
Yeah,
last day.
Yeah.
last one. Mhm.
So, I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that? I mean, you may agree with this person I was, debating. Maybe you do feel like he needs to be humbled, but I mean, what are y'all's thoughts?
I'm gonna say a couple of things, and it probably will surprise you. Um, I think that the problem wasn't Shador. I think the problem is Dion. Dion, right? Um, and I'm
Yes.
gonna.
Let me just clarify
Mhm.
that. Yes, that is true. Some people are saying
Mhm.
that it was Dion, it wasn't him. And
Mhm.
my same question goes to Dion. Does Dion need to be humbled? Again, I don't think so, but I want to know what
Well,
your thought is.
okay, so the Dion situation is because Dion, when he knew his son was going to be drafted, he went on a lot of like a media tour and started talking about he's going to decide what teams his son goes to. He's going to, he knows who he's going to talk to. He wants them to see, the best of his son. Let me tell you, his son, first of all, let's not forget that they have two sons. He has a second son that also got drafted, okay? um that young man kind of, he knew he was not going to be in the first round. He was not expecting that. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not at the Shador level. And Shador, the reason why we of course want Shador to be selected in the first round, because he's a quarterback. That's a star player, right? That's usually the person that rallies the team and gets them together. So I had a lot of different opinions because I did watch both the draft
Mhm.
to a degree. And I'll say this. I don't know if that young man needs to be humble, because if people go back and remember the Mannings, okay? Remember Eli and
Archie Manning. Yes,
yes,
Archie. Archie
yes.
said where his kids were going to go,
That's
and
right.
Double Dog
That's a
dared
that's right.
somebody to say
Okay.
something to him.
Exactly. Yes.
Y'all know
So
what the
She
difference is, right?
we know.
a
We
big
know.
difference.
Again.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, but he came in. Archie Manning was pretty much like Deion Sanders. I think the bigger
Mhm.
issue is Prime. People just don't. Prime. He talks shit because he was a great player. I mean, there's no question that Prime Time had it going on, and he
He
knows that
named
He's
his
been
himself
he's been
Prime
talking
yeah.
shit
Time.
He
since
must
he was
yeah.
drafted. Like,
That's
this is
right.
nothing new. This is who
No,
he
no,
is.
Right.
that's
So
who he
why
does.
why
What
are
he
you
does.
punishing his son? And I think it's confidence. I mean, I don't think he need to be
Well,
humbled.
I don't know. I think it was a humbling experience. But I think this more was around Dion than Shador for me. Um, I think the young man. Listen, if he's flashy with his jewelry, if he's wearing big chains, he's showing up with his rollie on. His daddy got it. I think that we keep forgetting that, and I'm just okay. So you know how I do. White people come to the front. I'm gonna get a little closer for y'all so y'all can
Mhm.
hear what I'm getting ready to say. There are African Americans that do better than you financially. Yeah. There's some that are doing way better. It doesn't matter what their plight in life was, what their career, how they got there. Some of them are doing much better than you financially, maybe personally, maybe health wise. And it's all people of different ethnicities. So it's not just limited to you. You don't get just that power. So, with that said, I'm going to have y'all move back and let me go back into what I was saying. Right? I do think it needed to be humbling, but I think it was more humbling not for Shador, but unfortunately that young man got that. He was the one that was getting that beaten at the time, but I think it was supposed to be for Dion. In all due respect, Dion really talking shit right now about Joe Flacco. Do I think Joe Flacco, and I don't know if you guys know, he's the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. He need to go. He's getting to the point where they weren't winning games. Um, I think Shador what is going to be on the fourth pick, but his son is going to show his performance. He's going to let you know. I have to say, in my opinion, some of that cockiness is always a concern. I would say if that he was going to play on my team, only because we have to make sure he's a team player. And so we can say he is, but we can only say that because his father coached both of those teams that he was on in
Right.
football in college. So we need to see him outside of that realm. So that's my point in saying that it was humbling, but I think it was more so focused and pointed to Deion Sanders and how he handled things and how he went on the media. And then Shador, went in interviews and may have acted a little bit more cockier than most of the kids do. But I will just say this at the end, young man, you got talent. Don't ever, because at the end of the day, you could have just walked away and said, "Forget it. My daddy got money. I'll be okay." This is not about like all these other young blacks, and not saying all of them. They need the money. They need the money, and I'm not saying they don't need the fame, but those initial folks that got in the first and second round, they need that money to help their families or whatever. I mean, that young man, unfortunately, his mother passed away on the day of the
Oh,
draft
right.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
Afterwards,
financially,
yeah.
yeah. So, but Miss Bookworm, you said something that's true. And I think in combination with V said, the NFL is it is a cattle call, right?
Hmm.
We know that it's just another side of slavery in itself. And people need to see that. They bring on these black young men because guess what? The majority that play football are black, African American, if you like to call it that. And the respect, I don't know if all of them get the respect that they deserve because they're saying, "Well, we're paying you, and all you need to do your damn job. This is what we're supposed to be doing." I don't like that mentality, and I can see why people pull away from the NFL. I mean, the thing that's going on right now, people are saying, stop buying from the NFL shops. Go directly to those players. They have websites and buy from them. And I'm going to say to you, I fully agree with that. I think that we need to refocus like we've done with Target and a couple other places. We need to refocus because I'm proud of that young man. I have nephews. I have my godson. And if we're not giving them confidence, who the fuck is? Who is giving them the confidence they need to go out in this world that is going to tear them down and tear them apart if they don't know what to do? And we can't have, and I'm not saying men, don't think, because I know we all got, you got your feminine side too, but we don't need that weak link, right? I mean, we know we tell men don't cry. What, it's fine for you to cry. It's fine for you to do all that thing. But guess what? Like we talk about black girl magic all the time, and men feel like they're not getting that. For my men, we will carry you and boost you up if we think that you're on the right path and doing right. So Shador, you're a superstar. No matter what pick you got, we got to remember that Tom Brady got picked as a 199th pick, and he is the damn goat. So I truly believe that Shador will do okay here in the NFL. Um, Shador, show your stuff. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
we have no problem with it. Just do what you do best, honey. This will be pushed all the way past you. Now that the draft is done, start training camp is happening. Do your job. Do what you were out there to do, and what you love, because he must love it. That sat there that whole time and waited. The last piece I want to talk about is the coach from Atlanta Falcons, his son, and that prank.
Oh, yeah, Earl. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. I don't
okay.
have the name. It started with a
I
U. Yep.
I'm glad that they got fined. They did get fined. He got fined $100,000, and I think the
Ooh.
Falcons got fined 250,000. Um,
Yeah, that's right.
you don't leave things.
Wow.
You don't leave personal information. Shador has set up a private line for those
Yep.
teams to call him. He wasn't at the draft. They set up a private line for them to call to let him know when he got picked. And I think that prank, as you thought was ha ha ha, was not funny. It was
At
not
all.
funny. I mean, even though he did accept your apology, because he said I'm 20 something to it, and that's what we do. No, that's not what you do, and so that's not cool. And he's like, Shador's a nepo baby. He's the nepo baby. And somebody needed to point out to him that you picking up and finding a private phone number that was not meant for you to be calling says a lot about what's going on in the household that you live in. That's all I'm going to
Mm,
say about that. Miss
mm.
Bookworm.
Well, real quick before we go to Bookworm, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to note because you're yes, we all know Deion Sanders is a very rich man, but I do want to note that Shador had he
Oh,
was
the
worth about
NILs. Yeah.
yeah like
Yes.
6.5 million,
Yeah.
actually
He
more on that side than he gonna have on the NFL side.
on the NFL
Yeah.
side. Yeah. He
Yeah.
Yeah,
already has good money set up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
just think
I
he
just
wants
wanted
to
to point
play
that out.
football.
Yeah, I
He
just
wants to
wanted
play
to point that
football,
out.
and he
The
should.
boy wants to play football. That's
And he
it.
20 something years old. Like, yeah, he gonna
Yeah,
have on
that's it.
chains. Yeah, he gonna wear his jewelry. I mean, that's what they do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what that got to do with humbling somebody?
And they wanted Allen Iverson to humble himself. They want and what about the all the trouble those other draft quarterbacks, the one that went to Cleveland, I think, and it was from some years back. Listen, why should Shador humble himself for what? For what? Let him play football. That's all he wants. I will be interested in seeing how well or how he does being coached, like
Mm-hmm.
you said, from another coach, from someone else. But I think, he's ready and all of that. But this draft and this whole situation was very, very personal. It had nothing to do with Shador. Shador really caught the heat off
Mm-hmm.
of what was a direct shot at his father Dion. There was a statement that they wanted to make and they made it, whatever it may be, but it was
Mm-hmm.
personal. um, but I like the way that Dion held himself
Mm-hmm.
together for his son's sakes. This was his son's moment, both of them. The Shiloh did get signed to Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a like a free agent, so he got a that was all done off of the draft books. That was so he got that contract, and Dion is proud of his sons, as anybody would be. Archie, like you brought up, weekday, Archie Manning did the same exact thing. Now we're talking about why should even Dion humble himself? Why? What what is he doing that is what is he doing wrong? What? Because he calls his own shots. He does what he does. He was a great football player, Hall of Famer. He was a great baseball player. He played
Mm-hmm.
dual sports. Only one other, well, a couple of guys did it, but I know Bo Jackson did it. But
Mm-hmm. Bill Jackson did.
Dion was a baseball player. He self-proclaimed himself prime time. He gave himself that name. And why, after all of these years, do you want him to humble himself or dumb himself down? Or why now? Why? What changed? He's still a head coach. He still wants to, be in this industry, in this field, and this franchise. He has sons who are phenomenal football players. The stats show for themselves with Shador. Come on. This was personal. This was a part of a bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
major bigger picture. And it's a shame that Shador was the one that caught this.
Mm-hmm.
He caught it. He caught it. But he still he still was jovial. He still was fun. He still was doing all of his streams. But we really don't know when that family gets together and those lights and those cameras are off and those people are gone and it's just kitchen table talk. You know, I know that those boys and his other children, and I know that's a tight knit family. I know that is. They kept joking. Shiloh to me stole the show. I like Shiloh. Shiloh's more my speed. So, they had fun. They're going to play football. They are not hurting for money on either side. Like, Shedeur has the NIL. I think Shiloh does too. I'm not too sure, but he has all the money from those things, images and likenesses. Hey, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And don't dim your light for no damn body. Why? Not at this age. Not with these kind of talents and gifts. Ah, fuck them. Fuck them.
If you
Just
don't
go there and
believe in
play football.
yourself, if you
Have
don't hype
fun.
yourself up, who
Who
else is
does?
gonna do it?
Who
So like
does?
I don't I just I
Toot
never
your
understood
horn.
the
It's your hand.
yeah.
It's your horn to
I
toot.
never understood the issue with Deion Sanders either. Like personally, I never
No.
understood it.
Why?
Like he he
He always
he's
wore
tooting
the
a horn,
furs and the.
right? He tooting his own horn, but the numbers don't lie. So like what? I can see if he was out here tooting his horn and he sucked, but even then I'd be like,
No.
do
It
you
was a
boo?
Mhm.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But I'm almost glad it happened so that you can see how blatant
Mhm.
the
And how petty.
racism and
But
how,
it's
oh
petty.
yeah, that runs
It's
I
petty.
mean the NFL, it has some shit with them that it's beyond our wildest dreams. I can just imagine, and these guys take a beating. They take a beating, and you know they turn around and treat you just like you said. It was all born and bred out of that. It's just
Mhm.
a slave herd mentality,
Mhm. It is.
and that's how they run it. And I'm just glad it happened, so now everyone can see it. What are you going to say? How can you
right.
explain this? You can't. So okay, we're here. We see you, and it is what it's going to be, and it's going to keep on happening. This ain't this.
Mm-mm.
You just watch.
Yeah.
This ain't going to be the first time the NFL is going to come under fire for some bullshit.
So there's so much tea going on, y'all, but we're not gonna spend no more time on V with the tea. Let's get into something I wanted to chat about. So um I was talking to a friend this week about relationships, right? And like when you're dating in your 20s versus when you dating, our age or older, like there's different things that you look for. So, my question to y'all, I mean, I know one's married, one's not married, right? But
Mhm.
let's talk about it. Like, what do you expect in a relationship over 50? Or I'm not even gonna say over 50, I'm gonna say over 40. What do you
Yeah,
expect in a
yeah.
relationship over 40? Um, and like what's the difference between that and what you were expecting in what you were looking for in a relationship in your 20s? And another thing that I wanted to bring up while we talking about this is Tracee Ellis Ross. She has been dragged a little because she says that she dates young. Um I'm not sure why she being dragged. I mean, men do it all the time, and that's a prerogative. But my thought my thoughts on my that's my thoughts on that. I want to know what your thoughts are on Tracy. But um, what is your expectation? So after 40, right? We're all over 40.
Hmm.
Getting out, if we got out in that dating world for those that are married, if we got out in that dating world for those that ain't married, right? What it's like in the dating world. What are you looking for in a relationship versus what you were looking for in your 20s? I know for me, I married very young. I ain't care nothing about no credit score. I ain't really care about much of nothing because I felt like, we young and dumb, right? We gonna raise each other and we gonna build together. But now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, yeah, if I had to do this again, I need to know what your credit score is. I need to know what your job status is. Do you have a pension? Do you not have a pension? Like, you know, do you own some homes? Do you travel?
Oh
Do you
yeah.
have a passport? Like those kind of things are important to me now that I'm in my 40s. I feel like in my 40s, getting into a marriage is not just about goo goo gaga love, right? Like it's about a business transaction. We all
It
know that
really
marriage is a
is.
business transaction, but in
It
my
really is.
40s, I'm gonna hone in on that. Whereas in my 20s, I was just, oh, I just love him, and I don't care if he ain't got a pot to piss in. I'm gonna be with this man forever, right? Y'all know that's how my ass was acting. But now in my 40s, like, yo, we gonna have to talk about certain things before we even go on that second date. On that first date, I'm asking a whole lot of different questions to even know if you even worth my time. Because I'm not trying to fall in love with somebody that ain't gonna be able to make sure that I'm good in this next season of my life. You know, they call 50s your golden years. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Mhm.
you ain't
Yeah.
got that golden egg, we not even gonna waste my time, sir. Like, you cute, you make me laugh, but what them pockets do?
Mhm.
What that credit score do? What that, what do you travel? Do you have a passport? Are there stamps in your passport, or did you just get it recently? Like talk to me. So what are y'all thoughts, ladies?
I think from somebody that's probably at Tracee Ellis's level, right?
Mhm.
I'm probably a year or two older than her, but we're in our 50s, right? Late 50s. Um, I don't have children like she doesn't have children. I've never been married like she does and hasn't been married. I'm sure there's quite a few women that can, relate to her. The young men dating, guess what? It's not that people think, oh, that's what we should jump on, the fact she's dating somebody young. It was okay when men did it. I mean, we see these men in a big mess. Tracee Ellis Ross is not paying somebody, or nobody's coming in saying she committed with any of these young men that presumably that she's been dating. Nobody's come in and said all that craziness, or she wanted to do crazy things with them sexually or anything. um, she's dating, and
That's it.
it's intentional dating, but she's dating. She didn't say I'm dating to get married. That's not what she said. She said I'm dating to find that person, right? And I think that's where and V, you have a good point. In my 20s, yes, I was looking for love. That's all I could think of. Love. And then in my 30s, I was looking for not just love, I was also looking to have children because, your biological clock is just ticking. And I mean, it's like pounding by that time in your ear that you're not going to make it. By 40, I started seeing things a little differently. I started believing what Tina said, right? What love had to do with it? Because all the time I was looking for this love, there were things that I was accepting that I I thought was okay because love was going to carry us through. Um,
Mhm.
at this big old age, at 59, I'm going to be in 2 weeks, going on 60. That's that's how could we say that's a little additive? That's the cherry on the top, but it is not the main dessert. What I'm looking for, and you have a very valid point, is I'm looking to build. In a relationship at this point in my life, I'm getting close to retirement. I'm looking for
Mhm.
somebody that wants to settle in. I need to know your health records. Are you going and getting a physical every year?
Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
you guys don't like when I talk about, and I know men hate when I say something about your prostate, but are you getting that checked every year? I mean, after the age of 40, that's what you should be doing. Are
Yep.
you handling your health? Are you going out drinking every night? Listen, that's something to think about because now we gotten older, right? And so it was funny. I saw on TikTok they said, "Oh, you women, all you black women are worried about is, traveling, brunches, and keeping your weight down." Well,
What?
when you're
Not
this
me.
big old age, you got to
Who
think
gives a
about
damn?
all those things because when you're going to the doctors now, when you were getting that blood work in 30s, you weren't thinking about somebody talking about, oh, you're diabetic, your cholesterol's high. Like, you're doing okay, you got everything going, or something could be wrong with your kidneys. Now that we moved and most of us have gone through menopause, our bodies changed and how we eat, how we do things. So I'm going to say, as a partner to you, excuse me, I'm going to focus on those things because as much as I don't want a hospice husband, I'm sure you don't want a hospice wife. I'm sure that you're looking for somebody to partner up with. I hope that. And yes, I'm checking credit scores. I had a conversation with my neighbor the other day, and I said, "Listen, I'm looking for somebody with some benefits. I'm going back to independent consulting. If you guys don't know how much benefits are, but they're very high, even
Ooh.
at the marketplace, to be independent by yourself. So I'm looking for somebody got some benefits, somebody that's worked on a pension or they worked on their 401k that we're set. I'm looking for somebody that he can't come live in my house." And I'm just going to be honest with you. I built this. I built this from the ground up. And when I say that, I'm not talking about having them build the house. I'm talking about I built and sat through all of those things and paid the mortgage. And I don't want to split that with you. If we're going to split something, we're going to split it together when we build together. It's a big difference when I build it by myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
want men to understand because, the whole thing about you women make more money and you think that you run the show. Let me just give y'all a clue in because I want y'all to get closer. So, men come to the front, right? Let me explain something to you because I am a high earner. There's no sense, even though I got laid off. Please don't believe I'm not. And I will say this to you: women like us are just not looking for what you think we're looking for. You're always worried about, oh, she want my money, or I can't keep up with. She gonna want to run the house. If you're man enough, none of those things would be in the way. You would be treated like a king as long as you treat your queen well. It has nothing to do with money at that point. If she's in it with you and we're building together, I'm with V. Maybe we should buy another property. Maybe we should buy a summer home. Maybe we should do something. We definitely, please don't tell me that you have never left your neighborhood at a big old age of 50 something or even at a big old age of 40
Oh,
something. Because
and
I'm
you'd be
I'm like looking at
surprised.
you like saying we're not going any further with this. Um, I've already done the build a bear things, right? Mm-mm. I have no more time for the build a bears. Potential is something that we talk about age 20 and 30. By the time you get a big old age of 40 and above, there's no longer potential. You should either be working towards a career or working towards being ambitious of what you want. So, I think back to, and it's funny, I think back to Think Like a Man. And I remember when Steve Harvey wrote the book. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Um, they were asking questions like, "Oh, well, what's your goals?" Which, listen, at a big old age of 50 something, I'm not asking your goals. Your goals should be showing. You should be at those goals. You should be wanting to heighten more of those goals. And when you come to the table with women like me, I'm not going to say women like me, we're looking for somebody that's saying, babe, let's do this together. What we're going to do, how we're going to build this. We're getting close to retirement. What do we want to do? Even if we don't have kids together, you might have kids with somebody else. Your kids are grown. How do you want to handle the wealth building for your grandkids? We can work on that together because
Mm-hmm.
that's the direction that we should be going in instead of saying, oh, yeah, we're in love and whatever. I keep trying to tell y'all, sex is very minimal at this point.
At
It
this
really,
age.
at this
Speak for
age, it's
yourself.
really y'all. I
I
mean,
am
it's
the
not
baby
like,
in the
Okay.
group, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
speak for yourself.
I mean, say I don't mind to get my back blown out, but it is just not the end all to all end alls when we
Okay,
start
y'all
talking
keep,
about in a
and then you
relationship.
be somewhere having an asthma attack.
That's right.
Sit
Yeah,
down
damn.
somewhere and
That's right. Or having a
listen.
heart attack, and somebody's like,
I'm
"Oh,
not
could you
trying.
get me a
Oh
baby
God.
aspirin?" Come on now, I just
Wait till
can't.
it's my turn. 'Cause I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No, I mean I don't know what
And
happened to
you,
V.
you're 100. Oh, oh yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She probably should be back.
She's coming back. Yeah. But I mean, I know what you're saying, V, and I know you're the baby of the bunch, but I'm saying as you're building relationships with new people and the dating scene sucks. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh my
But
God, I've
let me
heard.
talk about, I don't even bother. I feel like, he's going to come, he's there, he's looking for me, and when we find each other, we will be together. But I'm not going out there on these dating apps and you talking about let's walk in the park. I'm sorry, boo. I'm
Oh,
well past walking in the damn park.
I love it. Oh, me and my husband walk all the time.
Okay, and that's great for you because it's you and your husband. But when I'm on a first date, I'm not saying that you got to be spending. I'm not. First of
Woo!
all, I just want to be real clear because I am the single person in the bunch. You know,
I
these
think
young
that's
girls
a
talk
good
about.
first date. You get an opportunity to talk, to get to know each other with
Talk
no
Okay,
without
okay.
distractions.
any
Let me
distractions.
help y'all
I
out
think
at
it's
this
a
Yes.
bit.
great first
Okay,
date.
I'm gonna
My
help y'all out.
daughter, my
They're
daughter and
both
her
married.
man, their first date,
Okay, and
they
her
went to
daughter
a
is
park.
20. Her daughter is 20. Okay,
I'm just saying,
and,
what's
and
wrong with
50
what's
plus
wrong with a
40.
park date?
Forty,
Get to
40,
know each
40 plus and
other.
50 plus. If we're going to the park, set up a picnic. Do something outside.
Okay.
I mean, I
Talking
can
about
see that.
let's
I can see
yeah, set
that,
up
but
a
I'm just
picnic,
saying.
but not me come and meet you at the park and you like, oh, my grandkids are on the damn playground. That's not a
No.
date. Okay, but
No,
I'm just
that
being
right.
honest. I'm just being honest. Like, oh my,
Yeah,
I'm
that would
taking my
be a little,
grandkids to the
yeah. No,
playground.
I
Do you got
wouldn't.
some grandkids? Let's go together. That's not a date, people. Not at this big old age. Okay, so I no, I'm being really honest. Now, a coffee date is
Hmm.
fine with me. I'll meet you at the coffee shop and we can sit and
Now
talk.
that's
I
nice.
do agree with you guys that I'm not meeting you at the club, all that
Mm-mm.
noise and whatever. And I'm going to be even more honest. You 20 and 30-year-olds that saying, "Oh, he needs to take me to Ruth Chris." Y'all don't even know how to cut a steak. So really, y'all need to stop that nonsense because you hear other people saying that, or you spending most of your time on social media thinking y'all don't even know how to place an order. I'm not being a bitch. Very few of y'all don't. Okay, I've gone to the restaurants. I've seen how you've acted. You don't know how to act, but you want somebody, a man, to say he spent $300 on you for dinner, and you think that that's the big flex. It is not. It
That ain't
is
the man for
not the
me.
big
I don't
flex.
like the
Okay,
separation of my coins like that.
that's right.
And I want to make this no. I want to go back to the sex thing. I know. I know I'm the baby of the group. But
Yeah,
that's why it's important when you over 40 to ask them health questions.
that's right.
Because if they on
Hmm.
blood pressure medicine
Yeah.
and they overweight, nine
Hmm.
times out of 10, you're not gonna get your toes curled.
No,
I'm just
you're
saying.
not.
You gotta
No,
ask those kind of questions because what's our prime years is not their prime years. That's
no.
why Tracy dating young.
That's right. Yeah, that's why she's dating you. And that's why, I mean, and me and you have had conversations. I said, if you drunk, it's the worst kind of sexual activity because you drunk and sloppy. You're tired. You don't have your stamina up. Do better, men. Because I don't know what y'all thinking at 50 something that y'all swinging and slinging. Do better. Because these women are not telling you that because they're hoping that they're like, well, I'm going to just hang in there. No, we're not. You gotta do better because sex is not the end all to be all. But if you want to say, let's build together, let's look at this, let's think about some summer homes, let's go on vacation, babe. You know what? I had always said she was a gold digger, but I have to say something that she said is so true. Lisa Ray, right? Lisa Ray. And she said something that's so true at this big old age. Like, I don't want to go with guys that can't meet up to what I'm already used to. She said, I don't want to go and sit at dinner and he's drinking water because he can't afford to get an entree too. Or he's not used to going on vacations or going out on the weekends and going on weekend vacations. I mean, of course, she said weeks or whatever. But I'm saying, after I thought about what she said, yeah, as I've gotten to this age and I know I could do that for myself, the question comes in then, what are you needed for? So, men, you need to make women feel and understand that you are needed in their lives. And like I said, if you start acting like I'm not asking you just to take out the trash, I'm asking you to be my protector and take care of me. And when I say that, I'm not that 20 or 30-year-old that's saying, huh, he better pay all the bills. Nobody's asking for you to do all that at this big old age. We're asking for us to be commune together. And as V said, I need to make sure your credit is right and you're not standing at the
Mm.
car dealership asking me to co-sign. Then something's wrong with that, and I don't need to help. I don't need to be with you. Okay, because now you're an appendage that I don't need. Max, let me tell you about Max. Max don't do nothing for us. So I know Max ain't bringing no income in my house, right? And he's the
That's the
only
dog.
appendage.
That's the dog for the
That's the
new
doll,
listeners.
right? Okay. So he's the only appendage that I will take care of at this point. But if you want women to come home and cook and do the things that you're expecting, then what are you bringing to the table? Except for if you think you just bringing a paycheck, because that's just not enough. So that's my point as a single
It's
person.
I I was enjoying the conversation that Tracee Ellis Ross was uh talking about, because from her point of view, she's getting this backlash, but like you said, men do it all the time. But
Mhm.
Tracy didn't say that she dates young. She says she dates younger.
Okay. Hmm.
And she never specified how much younger. Like my husband is 51, I'm 53. And I did get married, like V got married very young, weekdays not married. And I am married, but I got married in my mid 30s and had to hurry up and have kids, because there was a line for me. There was. I think it's all depends on. Now, in my 40s, I would be looking for something much different than I was looking for in my 30s. I knew I didn't want to be married in my 20s. I knew what my 20s were about. I knew what I wanted to do in my 20s. Now, by the time I got married in my mid 30s, both of us had our own homes. So we were established. He was in his career. I was doing my thing. I was a traveler. He was not. So we had things that, and he introduced me to a lot of different things based on what he did for a living. I never knew anything about the stock market or investments and things like that. So what we our situation was, we were both bringing something to the table that the other was we had our strengths and we had our weakness. We both bought our strengths. We we did build together. We did, after we had our children, we had a business, we have rental properties, we have a second home, but we worked really, really hard for that. And we did that in a short amount of time because there was also children involved. Now, say dating in my 40s, there wouldn't be children involved for me, because then I would have, in my 40s, I knew if I did not have children by the time I was 40, I wasn't, I just was not going to pursue that route, and I would have been perfectly okay. So the situation, it just depends. But in my 40s, if I were to start dating, yeah, I want to know about, y'all want credit scores. I want to know, did you do some time? What
Hmm.
was going on? M- Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but myself being single and with no children at 35, I was getting a lot of, what's wrong with you? Why
Hmm.
not? What, as if I was supposed to be married, or I was the reject. And like I'm like, no, I'm actually the prize. But we live in that kind of society where they expect women to be, go to college, get married, have children, be a homemaker, be this, be that, or be that. But life doesn't take you down those roads. You just can't really pick and choose what is going to happen to you unless you and I was the
Hmm.
type where I was just moving. I wasn't looking for a husband. I mean, really, I was not looking for a husband. My husband and I bumped into each other at Walmart on a Friday night when Jessica, the bestie from sixth grade, her and I was just coming from something that was going on at the church. And we stopped in Walmart on a Friday night, and that's what happened. So, but at that age, It was, do you have children? Have you been married before? What's been going on, because you've had a lot more years behind you than you might have in front of you at this point. And I want to know what's going on. What am I walking into? You
Mhm.
know, is there baby mama drama? Is there ex-wife mess? Did you used to have a drug problem? Did things? I need to know what might
Were
come
you born a
up.
man?
Who? I'm
Girl,
just
say
saying,
that.
there's a lot more. I mean, to me, every decade means something. In your
Mhm.
20s, if you were that person that was single, you were doing it up in the clubs, the 20s and the 30s, yeah, the beginning of the 30s. But then you start settling down and you do
Mhm.
different things. You're at different stages in your life. In my 50s, yo, what are you going to the pharmacy for? And this is what I'm going to the pharmacy
Mhm.
for. We're getting those 30-day prescription text messages, pick up your
That's
prescriptions
right.
and all. Do you have life insurance?
Mhm.
What are your plans? Do you have it? Because at 50, I don't need my back blown out. I'm having trouble gasping for air now. You know, I, I really
Ooh.
don't. Stuff starts creaking and
I don't
popping and
know. I
hurting
don't
and
know what it is.
aching.
Everything is
Mhm.
aching, and I can't.
Yeah.
I'm going up the
Everything.
stairs,
I
and
can't put
Yes.
my finger on it.
I, but I
I
don't know. It's
don't
like it
need
miraculously
you.
goes away when the clothes come
N-
off, and there's penis there. I don't know what happens.
No. No, 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 no.
I'm
Not me.
healed.
You can't.
I got the Megan the Stallion knees all of a sudden again. I can crack my back and
Girl,
Nothing.
listen.
Oh,
No,
not
we
me.
need for
I
me, for
don't
me,
need
we
but as
that.
we need
but as
we need
soon
to
as
be
it's
able to
over, I
we need
go
to
right
be able
back
to
to the
rub
damn
icy hot on
arthritis.
each other, right? We need to make sure we got
Right.
some preparation
Yo.
H just in case somebody is a flare up. Yeah, that's that's where I want to be at. Like we in the crowds together, and he be like, "Babe, whoo, something just hit me." Be like, "Okay, babe,
It's
let me go get the
different now.
icy hot." It's a different.
It's
I'm
different
sorry,
now.
it is a different kind of. I need to know if you going to the damn dentist on a regular basis. I mean, getting your mouth checked out. I mean, there are things that I just feel like at this big old age, I could just tell you from the single side of it that now, I mean, like love is a nice little antidote, right? It's the little sprinkles that you put on the little jimmies you put on your ice cream when you were a kid. But it is not for me. I'll just say this for me. It's not the end all to be all. I do still have those limitations. If you cheating at this big old age, you need to really go get some therapy. Because at this point, I know that you have some major self esteem problems at this age. Because
Well,
by
maybe
now,
that's why you're still
that's right,
single.
and that's why you're still
Maybe
single,
that's
right?
why you're still single and you're
Yeah,
still dating. And that's why I need to
yeah,
know, were you married before?
that's right.
Or, how, not really trying. I never was the type that really wanted to get in your business,
A
but
probe, yeah.
how recent was your
That's right,
last serious
exactly.
relationship?
That's right.
I don't need nobody rat tat tatting on the door while you and
Yeah,
I sitting up
that's
watching
right.
TV. I
TV.
mean,
Yeah.
there's different requirements,
Mm-hmm.
in your 50s. Like I said, my sciatica hurt. You got to kind of know that you can't be
Flipping me up and down
flipping
and
my
stuff.
up and doing this, and we not doing
I'm
this,
not
and now
swinging from no poles
honey,
anymore.
honey,
No.
I can't get
Mm-mm.
on top tonight because
No, I
Listen,
know.
that
listen.
that
So
ooh,
my daughter keeps coming in my bedroom without knocking, and I'm like, "Yo, I could be on top of your daddy." She said,
Yeah.
"With all them pains and aches you got, I ain't worried about that." So disrespectful.
I'm telling you, it's just, but you do want to build.
Mm-mm.
You want to build, but
Yeah.
at this stage, also love is different in your 50s.
Yeah,
Love
it
is,
is.
mom, where daddy? I don't know.
No.
Well, how you don't know? I don't know. I
I ain't
listen.
seen you better go find them shit. I can't find them right
But I
now. Listen.
but when I need him, he'll be there. Everything, you
Mm-hmm.
show things different. It's more about companionship at
Mm-hmm.
this age.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, hey, You ready to let's go to the farmers market. We going
That's
to the
right.
farmers market getting
Yeah,
fresh
exactly.
peanuts. Like
Yeah,
that's what we're doing
yeah.
now, and that's what make us happy. Hey, I got to make a run to Walmart. You need it?
You're gonna,
You
yeah.
coming?
You
No,
wanna
go on
ride?
ahead.
Yeah, let's go to Home Depot because I
That's
think
what we
something.
doing.
Yeah, we need to put some new toilets in the house. Let's go to Home Depot and we
Or
share.
you
We are
know,
cheerful. Like, oh yeah, let's go to Home Depot. Do you know what kind you want? Do you want the flush all? A soft flush? Yeah, that's the stupid stuff. But at this age, that's what we're
I'm gonna
talking
tell
about.
you what our Saturday morning, like what our, everybody else used to get up on Saturdays. Oh man, I'm in their 20s and 30s and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We get up, we looking around the house, we trying to figure out how we gonna combat these carpenter bees
Mm-hmm.
outside.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you want to transplant that bush
That's what.
over
Yeah.
here?
Yep.
That's what we talking about.
That's
Yo,
right.
I'm gonna get the little power wash out. You want
Gosh,
to get
that's
the
right. I was
cushions
going to
out.
say. Yeah.
We get ready. What you want to take the chairs out the shed?
Yeah.
Let's clean them up.
Yeah.
That is what
That's
we
it.
doing. That's what we do. Oh, did you get the mail? Oh no, I ain't get the mail. Go on out there and get the mail. That's the
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
conversation, and that, my friends, is love.
That's
Because
right.
if you
That's love.
still
Yep.
communicating, if you
It's a
still can say good
plus.
morning and good night,
That's right.
y'all
Yep.
still in love. Y'all ain't
That's
got to
right.
be smooching and him and her. It's
Uh-uh.
about
You
companionship,
ain't got to be
really, at
grabbing your
this
ass
age.
every 5 minutes. No,
What?
that's some 20 and 30 something shit. Listen,
He can still grab
if
my
he give
ass.
you
I'm just
if,
saying. I'm
if
with
he
you on
give you
all
a
of that. That's what we
forehead,
do. But he can
if
still
he
grab
give
my
you a
ass.
forehead,
Let me know I'm
okay,
still a woman.
okay. I'm not saying that. I'm
I'm
just
a
saying he ain't
fucking
doing.
lady.
I'm saying he ain't doing that on a. I don't need him to grab my ass on a constant basis when like Miss Bookworm said, we got concentration to do. In the middle of a power wash, I do not want to get fucking wet because you done grab my damn ass. I want us to be focused. You can still do me a forehead kiss and that's it, and I'm good over here. I'm like, oh, my man still loving me. He forehead and kissing me and everything.
Let me
He
tell
ain't
you,
got to
I'm
slide me down. No.
wait, I'm gonna tell you how my husband show how much he loved me. He'll go to Lowe's because you're grilling and he need the
Yeah.
long lighters. Here, I bought a package of lighters and they had the little ones. I got some for you too.
For you.
Now that's love. When you
That's
bringing
right.
me lighters so I can
Yeah.
light up my little weed. Yeah, that's love.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a
When we
different
take
kind
a
of
ride
feeling.
to the dispensary and you wait in the car, yo, on the way home, you need me to stop at the dispensary. You know what?
Yeah.
Let me see if they got
Yeah.
a sale. Go
Yeah.
on and stop on. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That is love.
Let me tell you something. When
That
he
is
know my
love.
big
I'll
back,
take that over a tap
listen,
on my
that's
ass.
right.
Bring me a
Yeah, that's what I'm
lighter.
saying. Like if he know my big back might want some ice cream, be like, babe, I know we shouldn't get no ice cream together, but let's, such and such got such and yeah, babe, let's stop and get me a double scoop. And he ain't mad at me because I'm eating a damn double scoop. I know he in love my big back because I'm like, if he ain't
Child.
questioning my double scoop, then we good over here. I mean, I just want somebody to cuddle up with, chill out, watch a movie. Even if we're not watching a movie, now he might say, "Let's, babe, tonight's the night." Like I ain't gonna lie to y'all. For me, we ain't gonna have no standing. Oh, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday. Okay, y'all get what I'm saying? No, mom gonna have to see every day at some point because that's why I ain't got no kids to worry about. I ain't worried about nobody stepping in no rooms saying this, that, and but if the aches and pains ain't right, then if he ran my bath water and said, "Babe, I put some Epsom salt in there for you," be like, "Oh, he gonna get something tonight." Cause he doing me right now. He hitting them aches and pains. But I'm just saying, in reality, that's where, for me, at this big old age at 59, I'm not looking for somebody to come in with the baggage. Keep your 5-piece luggage somewhere else. Don't come here talking about I got an 8-year-old child. You are definitely being discounted.
Child.
You need to be bringing some grown people. If you got grown kids, we good. But if you talking about you still got somebody in high school, I mean, college is fine, but high school and grade school, I'm not. Listen, I'm not interested. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I don't have no kids to raise, and I'm not raising nobody else's.
Not when you're
You need to
this
go on.
age.
Not at
Yeah.
this age. No, I mean, first of all, didn't I tell y'all I got aches and pains? I ain't got no time to be running after no damn kids, going to soccer games and all that shit. No, no, I'll do that for my nephews and my godson, but not with the person that I just want him to be established. And I agree
My
with you, Miss
kids be
Bookworm. You
running
said
after
something that
me.
is so key. That man should bring something to the table for me. Like, yes, if you've never been to a play, let's go to a play. Let's go to New York. Let's spend the weekend there. Let's, do this. If you've never gone to the Bahamas, which is one of my favorite places, let's go to the Bahamas for a couple of days. If you're a cruiser and I'm really not a cruiser, I'm gonna say, well, all right, I'll go on a cruise with you because I know that's
That's
what
the
he wants to do.
compromise. It's a
That's my
definite
compromise.
compromise. Yeah,
But
it's really good. Yeah.
but if you told me you haven't left the neighborhood, I'm going to tell you just keep staying there because that's not the person I'm looking for, and I
Child.
honest with
That
you,
was my
that's not it.
husband. My husband only the only place he ever went to was Freaknik in Atlanta.
But y'all were in y'all's 30s. It's a big difference when you're in your 30s, but when you're at this big old age and you have never left the neighborhood at this big old
I
age,
said,
there
"Woo!"
is something wrong. There's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
wrong with that. I mean,
Yeah,
come
it's
on,
like
at
one of
50
the ones that
something,
think that Baltimore is the state.
girl,
Oh,
yeah,
but you know
mhm,
what? There's a lid for every pot, y'all.
Yep,
There's a
there
lid
is.
yeah,
for every pot.
yeah.
So,
And
You
I
know,
mean, somebody might be okay with
not
that.
everybody's
No,
into traveling, so that's,
right,
but
there's
that
a
I definitely
lid
agree with
for
that.
every
But
pot.
there's
yeah,
definitely differences of what you need to be looking for in your
yeah,
in
I
your
think
20s
so.
versus your 50s. And you know what I think it would have been nice in my 20s to be able to have talked to some of my aunties like
Mhm.
this to just find out what I didn't know so that I could have,
Mhm.
you know, thought about things differently as you're dating, in your
Yeah.
20s,
Yeah,
especially if you're dating young like that, but you are dating with intention,
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because there's a
and I
lot of
think,
people in their 20s that are dating with intention to marry. They're not
Right.
just out
yeah,
here just dating. So,
and
but
so
let's,
yeah, I mean, just and I think at this age we're dating for attention. I can tell you all these older men are dating for attention. They're dating, excuse me, with intention to say, okay, I want to hook up with a woman that got things going on, and she got, she could leave me something that part of her pension or her social security. Yeah, watch them. They're out there.
I think
They're
there's a lot
dating
of
with
men
intention.
too, men in their 40s and 50s are thinking differently than women in their 20s, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because when people are divorced, you find that men get remarried a lot quicker than
Mhm.
women do.
Hmm. They
And it's
do.
They
because
do.
when men marry, they're marrying for that spouse usually to kind of fill that role, right? Take care
Hmm.
of them, take care of the house,
Take care of them. That's it.
make
Yeah.
sure everything is culture, right? So when
Hmm.
they're divorced, they got to go and find a replacement because they didn't got comfortable with that lifestyle. They can't just be out here living that bachelor life no more. They
Cuz they
old.
went from mommy to wife,
Hmm. Yep.
and then they need to go right back to wife because that
Hmm.
they remember that back to mommy that they oh I
And then they're in their
that's
20s
a
and they chilling and they
whole
having a
nother
good time.
episode.
That's a whole
Mhm.
nother
Hmm.
episode. And then they get in their
Yep.
40s and their 50s and they ready to settle down. So they go from
Hmm.
dating and hoeing to, intentions. I mean, so men and women we're a lot alike, as far as what we're doing and what we're dating for. Just like some women, like Miss Bookworm said, in my 20s, I won't trying to get married. That wasn't my
Yeah.
intention with
Mhm.
dating, right?
No
But
child.
just like there's some women like that, but there's also men like that. And on the reverse side, there's some men that really are in their 20s looking for their wife.
Hmm.
Yep.
Hmm.
So, but good conversation. I think we got time for a letter. It's
Yeah.
getting kind of late, but let's go ahead and make it
Yeah.
happen real quick.
All right. So, excuse me. The letter's called Side Bitches. I ain't got enough cleaner in my house to handle this one to it. This is
Hasn't
an
that been the
emergency.
topic of the week?
Okay, so this is an emergency. That's how the letter starts. This is an emergency. I'm 30-year-old female. I'm in a situationship. Mm. I know you will first judge me, but I need to decide quickly on what to do. I will start by saying I'm not a bad person. I just found myself in a bad situation. I've been dating this guy for over a year. Listen to that keyword. Okay. He is my best friend's man. Let's be clear. I met him first.
Hold on.
Decided to make her.
He is my best friend's
hmm He decided to make her his girlfriend. Now I found out he has been cheating on me and her. My girlfriend is pregnant and he's thinking about asking her to marry him. He told me he wants to be with his child as he grows up. He does not want any man taking care of his child. So we decided to hook up not as often until he knows what he wants. He said he still has feelings for me and he is conflicted. But I just found out he has been cheating on both of us. There's another chick involved. She stepped to me and let me know that she's involved with him too. She said he told her I was his cousin, but she said she was getting suspicious and followed him to my house. I know I am what people consider the side chick, but I want to warn my friend about his cheating ass. Should I tell her? I think she should get rid of this baby and move on. I know I played a part in this, but I have started to move on. I met someone who is treating me better and he's not in a relationship with anyone. Or should I mind my business and let her find out on her own?
Oh God.
I'm looking
Let me
around
make
because
sure
I
I
want to
got this
say,
right. Let me make sure I got this right. You are breaking all kinds of girl code by having a whole year relationship with your best friend's man. But now that he got him a second side piece, now you ready to spill the beans and protect your all in protection of your best friend's reputation and love for your best friend. Where the hell
No.
was that when
Exactly. That's it. That's it. Game
we're
over.
not we're not we're not we're not having those we're not talking about this. Seriously?
Game over.
I'm not answering this question. Go
And
ahead.
it was
Who's
1 year.
that?
You did say weekday. You did say she was in this relationship with her best friend's man for 1 year,
Over a
right?
year.
over a year.
Oh, over a year. Okay. Well, still.
All right, so I,
Ugh.
I looked around because guess what? Whose back do you got, bitch?
No,
Bitch!
nobody's.
Nobody's. Listen,
Her
I'm going to
own.
tell you.
Her own.
Yeah, you only thinking about yourself. You resent the fact that it was okay if he was having you and the best friend. Now he done add another side piece. So I've had this conversation with people about this side piece shit. So I'm gonna be real clear with you girls so you understand. People do not go to a damn restaurant and say, I just want the whipped potatoes and the damn asparagus. That's not how they order dinner, bitch. They say I want a steak or lobster. And they said, did you look at the menu? This is now we're back at Ruth Chris again. Because you ain't even at the
Again.
Ruth Chris level. You're at the Applebee's right now. Okay. But
Mhm.
Applebee's also says with the entree, you get two damn sides. Do you want and you really are like a French fry kind of girl? It's either some French fries and some nasty broccoli, right? Or a salad, a side salad with just, lettuce and a cucumber in it. Okay. Those are the sides that you get with your damn whatever you got at the damn Applebee's, right? And Ruth Chris, they ask you about the sides. They're a little bit like potato au gratin, or you can have asparagus, whatever. Okay, so when the people end, and dinner's almost over, and you're like, oh, and the person comes and says, "Would you like a box? What would you like us to box up?" Most people say, "I want you to box up my steak or lobster." Well, would you like to take the sides with you? Oh, I don't know about them. That's who you are. I don't know about your motherfucking ass because he didn't want the damn sides. So then somebody says, well, you better take it. We spent all this money. So you take the damn sides home. They sit in the refrigerator until it's a week later and somebody said, you better throw that shit out stinking. That's who you are, bitch. They don't ate the steak, the leftover steak, but they don't want the sides. You side bitches. Get yourself together, and you really are low down side bitch. It's one thing just to be a side bitch and not be involved and not know what's going on. You just know it because somebody done told you he married or he whatever.
Right.
But bitch, you were in it. Y'all were all rocking together, and now you ready to tell your girlfriend to get rid of a baby because you really got your feelings hurt because you thought you were the main side. Bitch, ain't no main fucking side. There's a main fucking course, and he wanted for the main course, and it's not you. So you take your little side ass and go somewhere with that shit and stop going and getting somebody's business. You want to know if you should mind your business? No, you should go get some fucking therapy and stay away from that man and stay away from that friend. Because once that friend finds out, because she will, guess what? We always find out shit. Y'all ain't never gonna be friends again. And you ain't gonna be friends again even if you tell her that her man is cheating. Because no woman cheating on her. Because she's always gonna be looking at you with the side eye. That's my commentary. It's nothing we can do for you. Go get some fucking therapy. Stay away from that man and stay away from that best friend. You need to walk away because you're not even best friend material. And forget about that other side piece. Because a girlfriend is she
Yeah,
already somewhere else. Miss
because
Bookworm.
all three of you women have are getting played. All three of you.
Mhm.
And you are well aware of it. And then you're asking us, you've been with this man for over a year. Okay, fine. But you also just told us about another man that you are dating that you are happy with and this, that. And okay, so why are you still worried about your best friend's man and his other side piece? You need to walk away and save face because one, you're not a friend, and two, you ain't even make a decent side piece because he went on ahead and got another damn one. So there goes that. Go on and just concentrate on the guy that came around, that you're dating now, and hopefully you won't fuck that one up.
Mhm.
So I don't even know where to begin. It's foul. It's real
Mhm.
foul. It's very selfish. And you really, I know you said we're gonna judge you because we are. We
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
we don't listen and not judge
Mm-mm.
here. At three
Mm-mm.
ounces.
No, that's that cute
Not
shit
what
somebody else will tell you.
it's not what we do. We
Mm-mm.
you called me. I ain't call you. But listen, I think you should tell your best friend. You're gonna be doing it for a selfish reason, but to me, it's gonna help her to know what she wants to do moving forward, not only with you, but her cheating baby daddy, right? So I think you should tell her. Even if it's coming from a selfish place, I feel like you should
Because it's
tell her.
not remorseful. She's not being remorseful, though. You're
At
But the
just
all.
question,
telling
But the
because
reason I think she should tell
she's
her
being
is because
petty.
I feel like she should know. She should know what she's about to get into because she's about to have a baby with this man, right? She's about to be enthralled in this man's life and he's going to be in her life for the next 18 years. So yeah, go ahead. Even though you're doing it for a selfish reason, go ahead and tell her. Hopefully
but
she
the
leave
question
you
is,
behind. She leave
I
him
was going to say,
behind.
but the question is she going to tell her part that she played in it, or is she
Oh,
only
she
going to
needs
Gonna
to
tell
have
tell
about
it
the new
to.
all.
side?
She
That's all.
has
She has
That's
to
what
to.
I'm
tell it
saying.
all.
And I don't trust that she would tell it all. I think she would only tell about the other side piece and not
But
tell
then
about
he's
her
gonna
being a
turn around. No,
participant.
because
He
he
gonna
can
tell
turn
it.
around.
Yeah,
He
he
gonna
gonna
He's
tell
gonna
tell.
it.
tell
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
He's
he'll
gonna tell
turn
it.
around and be like,
So
"Well,
Mm.
bitch, I was fucking you too.
yeah,
You
I
forgot that
think if
part."
I think if you writing this letter and you saying that you know we gonna judge you, but you know you trying to turn a leaf or whatever the hell she
Mm.
said,
Mm.
then that's what you do. You let her know, and she can make her decisions from there. You know, kudos to you for having a new man, but what you really need to do is go figure out why you were okay with sleeping with your best friend. This ain't just some random associate. This is your best friend, and you are sleeping with her man for over a year, and you looking this girl in her face. Like
Skinning and grinning.
you need
That
to go figure
just
out why you think that that's okay, and figure out why you feel that that you're okay with being a side piece until you find out about this other side piece. You need to go get some therapy. You need to figure this out.
Mhm.
I
that
don't think you should be
whole
going into another relationship because you don't love yourself enough and there is some kind of trauma that you need to figure out and deal with because that's that's
she
some
prob
foul
no,
shit.
she's probably a no, she's a undercover hater. And
Mhm.
people are using the term and best friend too loosely
Yeah, loosely. Yeah.
for my taste,
Yes,
for
because
my
I
Mhm.
taste.
my best
um
friends ain't
but
doing that
she's
shit.
also but she's also 30 years old. Now
I don't
there's
Mhm.
care. I
20
won't
years
doing it in my
difference
20s
between,
to my
but
besties.
I'm saying there's a difference with this generation and how they, what their morals and values are. Their moral and values are a tad bit different, and that's why I judge you. That's why I earned the right to judge you by this
Mhm.
age,
Yeah. Mhm.
because you are doing reckless things. And then was her best friend, was he, is he married? Did I miss that part, or did it
They
Mm-mm.
just
were gonna
all?
get married because she's having his
Simmons,
baby.
baby.
So now he's
Yeah, but you
asking
know
her to
what?
marry him. So they were
if
just
this
dating,
other
boyfriend, girlfriend.
side if this other side piece didn't come into the picture, we would not be having this
Mm-mm.
She
That's
conversation.
would be
it.
godmommy to that child
That's
and
that.
still
That's
Mhm.
fucking
it.
that man.
So
Yes, right.
why should she
Mhm.
tell her? The only reason she wants to tell her is because there was another woman involved.
Mhm.
But if
Yep.
she was
Right.
pregnant right now, then why don't you say, hey, I don't think you should have this baby because I'm
Mhm.
sleeping with your man? You
That's
don't
right.
want to say that. You want to say, I don't think you should have this baby because he was
He's
cheating on you
he,
with
and that's
someone
how I feel
else. And
like. Yep. Yep.
But
That's how I
see,
no,
feel.
I'm thinking about it from from the best friend's perspective, right? Like, no, we know that she's gonna tell her because she's being selfish and she's upset and she hating and she mad, right? But at the end of the day, this best friend still knows this information prior to having this baby. So however she has
but
to
would she
receive
be
it,
telling on
I'm good.
herself?
It don't
I don't think
matter.
so.
It's
But
gonna
with
come
the
out in the
guilt,
end. At the end of the
be
day,
no, I don't.
yeah.
You're
Mm-mm.
only telling because it was that other chick.
Mhm.
If
Yep.
you was sitting there, you would be smiling up in her face, giving her a baby shower,
Shower.
doing
Yep.
all of
Mhm.
this. He would be with her while you would be home. He would be with you while she home having contractions.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. You just as wrong and you petty. And if she was to come to me, she would be lucky she pregnant, but I get her ass
Mhm.
kicked because you're telling me, because you're swole, that there was another.
Mhm.
You were okay when it was just me and you
And
sharing
you.
this man,
That's right.
but when someone else came into the picture, now you want to tell it? No, because if no one else came into the picture, me, you, and this man will all be having this baby
Miss Bookworm,
together.
but you
Oh,
said something
listen.
that's so true, and then we're gonna let this go. Today are built differently. Nieces,
They
stop getting
really
yourself in these
are.
situations. I've heard of these situations before. Nieces, why are you interested in a friend's man? Why are you doing that? Have you not established girl codes? Isn't it a couple other men around? Does he have not don't have any friends? You don't, could you meet somebody else somewhere else? Does your friends have brothers? I mean, sometimes we gotta go that deep, right? Date somebody's in somebody's family. I don't give a damn, but you need to do better than just going out and saying, "Well, I'm gonna latch on to her man, and then we're gonna share him like we're three's company." No, that's not cool. And
All
nieces,
the
I want
men
y'all to do
out
better.
there,
Yeah.
all the men out
Mm,
there,
mm-mm. Yeah. Girl, bye.
and you picked your bestie's man.
Mm,
And another thing, let me no wait, well, okay, let me let me say this. This generation, the 30s and the millennials, they are not, let me be clear, they are not doing anything different behind closed doors than generations before us. And there's
exactly.
80 years old and not, oh, Aunt Regina been having a time telling me some business. But let me tell you something. From our generation up, a lot of people went to their graves not
Mm-hmm.
knowing
Mm-hmm.
that this child belonged to this one, and that
Yep.
this one was really
Mm-hmm.
this one's.
Mm-hmm.
It was all happening. Fucking and cheating has been going on since the
Since the day
beginning
of time.
of
Adam and
time.
damn Eve.
What the
Mm-hmm.
difference is, I'm seeing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the younger generation putting it all out on Front Street. Oh, I'm telling. There's a lot more hating going on
Mm-hmm.
now
Yep.
than it was back then. A
Mm-hmm.
lot, and don't think for 1 minute that a lot of people didn't know what was really going on, just like they do now. But they're so busy putting it out on Front Street, blasting you on social media, sending these videos to it's just too messy
Mm-hmm.
outside of the home. Everything used to be shh shh and
Yeah.
kitchen table talk. Now it is all out plastered. People are being canceled. People are being It's a dangerous game.
Mm-hmm.
This game has been dangerous since the beginning of time. However, they are making it more dangerous. The ramifications are more dangerous now because they're being messy and lives are being ruined, hurt, all kinds of stuff. But this stuff has been going on. Y'all just being messy and you're a hater. Go on and find yourself a new man and go on and find yourself a new girlfriend. I would just remove myself because you ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, and on that note, we gonna wrap it up.
Yes,
Listen,
we
if you
are.
have a question or something that you need the aunties to answer for you, please send us an email at 3auntiesandamike@gmail.com or send us a DM at any social media platform at 3aunties and a mic. The three is spelled out THREE. Thank you, ladies, as always. I love our conversations. For those tuning in for the first time, thank you. Don't be a stranger. Make sure to like us and follow us on our social media platforms or your favorite streaming platform so you don't miss a single episode. And follow us on YouTube. And for
Yeah.
those that are been with us on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. Until next time, peace and love.
We love you, nieces and nephews.
Smooches.